Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. Today, we are going to be taking a second look at the iniBuilds A350 for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Welcome, Rand Cooley. How are you doing, my friend? Dougal McTavish, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Bradley Evans, welcome aboard. Allah Aruk, welcome aboard. I hope, Dougal, that the music sound was just right for you today. I figured something. I hope that it resolved the issue. We have with us today Abdul Qadir. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. Hello, Fry Brian. Welcome aboard from the US of A. And we have Allah. Allah is asking, do the flight stewardess serve you Katayev? Well, my mom does them, but I don't know about the stewardess on board the aircraft. Glad to have you guys with me this evening, and we are going to be taking a second look today at the iniBuilds A350, and I have picked a kind of a route that is kind of longer than usual. It's about an hour and a half, but it should give us, a good look at the aircraft and Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 after Sim Update 1. This is the latest version of the aircraft 1.04. I just updated the aircraft and updated deliveries as well, which is required for this update. So we are going to be flying today from Alicante in Spain, and we're going to be departing runway 10 through the Cato 4 Alpha departure, heading over to Lisbon in Portugal. We're going to be arriving at runway 20 or 20 through the Upol to Bravo arrival. We're going to be cruising at 40,000 feet. The weather at our destination suggests that there will be some very violent crosswind, but we'll get to that once we are nearing the destination airport. So, we've talked about all the beautiful texturing of the A350 in our first look stream, and today we're going to be taking a look at, hopefully, the fixes that iniBuilds has introduced. It has a lot of issues, a lot of stability issues. So hopefully today we're going to have a flight without freezes, without problems, and I really like, the textures of this aircraft. I think they've done a really good job. All right, so with that said, let's hop into the cockpit and let's start getting the aircraft ready for our flight. Again, very, very nice texture work there by iniBuilds. Let me set there we go. Our throttles are good. Okay, and we're going to also make sure that this is retracted. So the first thing here, we are going to check that the parking brake is set and that the engine mode selector is in the normal position. The throttle's in idle detent, and we're going to make sure both wipers are off right here. Again, standard procedure there for Airbus, and then we can turn on the external power. So external power 1, and very lovely sounds. We're going to turn on battery 1. Emergency battery 2, and battery 2, and external power 2. Again, the sounds are very, very nicely done. Oxygen crew supply is on, and let's see here. Do we have ground control on this aircraft? We do. All right, so that's the ground control, and we're going to come here to set the ADDONS to nav, ADDONS 1, 2, and 3. Okay, perfect. Next, we are going to come here, make sure that the strobe lights, I believe, are on auto, and they should be in the off position, but that's okay. And I think the same thing goes for the nav lights. They're already set to position 1, which indicates that the pilot flying will be the captain. If you select position 2, it means that the first officer is the captain flying. So we'll keep this on nav 1. All right, emergency lights are armed, and no mobile on auto, no smoking, and fasten seatbelt signs are all on auto. We'll come to, actually, let's go ahead and turn the fuel pumps on as well. That all checks okay, perfect. Next, we're going to come here and we're going to test the oxygen, and that is checked. And now we can start programming the MCDU, but first we can head over to the electronic flight bag here to set up the aircraft. Let's go to the flight ops. We're going to import the plan from SimBrief. As you can see, we are Iberia, or Iberia. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, to be honest, but Abu Abdullah, welcome aboard. Your voice brings back memories of 10 years ago. How are you doing, my friend? I'm doing very, very well, my friend Abu Abdullah. Thank you for being here this evening. I appreciate it. Captain McGee, welcome. Glad to have you with us. So I'm not sure if it's Iberia or Iberia, but there you go. All right, let's go to ground. We have the ground power is connected to the aircraft and the chocks as well. Everything here is good. We'll leave GSX control disabled. Let's go to our load sheet and import everything from SimBrief. Zero fuel and weight is updated. And we click here to set the zero fuel. There we go. It's now set. And we're going to set the fuel as well. Loading fuel, and the fuel load is now complete. Perfect. All right. We can now go to the FMS. Now, if you recall, in the first stream, I was not able to fetch the data from SimBrief due to a problem with the aircraft. But hopefully now things are good. So let's go to init. We're just going to take a request pending. All right, so it looks like that is now resolved. So let's see if we can get the information. Request pending. All right, received company flight plan, insert, and that will insert all the information for us automatically, which is pretty cool. We've got everything, the cost index, everything is set up correctly. Excellent. So we're going to go next to the departure, and we're going to select our departing runway, which is runway 10, and the SID is the Cato 4 Alpha, I believe. Cato 4 Alpha, yes indeed, and Cato transition. All right, Cato 4 Alpha, and there is no transition here, so temp, insert, and now we have our departure from Alicante in Spain. Next, we're going to go to the destination in Lisbon in Portugal, and we're going to select the arrival. The arrival today is going to be through, let me move this here to the side. It's going to be runway 20. All right, and the approach is the ILS runway 20 via, let's see if there is any via here. Let's go to runway 20, the ILS, and let's take a quick look here. Let's see. It doesn't look like there is a via. So we are going to... Yeah, no via there. All right, so we'll just put this back to the side. There is none. And the star is the uphill 2. So let me come here. We can scroll using this here. Where is our arrival? Apple to Bravo. Well, I don't see it here. Do we require a nav update? Huh. All right, let's check here. Maybe we need to do... all right, let me come here to the EFB. Let's go to the menu, options, and third party. Navigraph. Switching... we want Navigraph data, but it looks like it is updated. Switching nav data, updating nav data, clear FMS, and only performed without engines running on the ground. All right, well, we are on the ground, so I really am not sure. Third party. It looks like we do have the latest Navigraph database. All right, well, let's see here. What happened to our flight plan? Ooh. Did it delete the flight plan? It sure did, huh? All right, well, that's all right. We're just going to go to flight plan. Let's go to back to init, and let's request the company data again. It looks like when you select Navigraph database, it deletes everything, so I'm not sure. All right, company received, insert, and that should put back all the data in, but without the flight number. So it looks like there are still some errors there, but that's all right. Let's go to the departure. Clear info. All right, so let's go to runway 10 for the departure. This is the CATO 4A. No transition, insert, and insert. All right, there we go. Let's go to the destination airport. There is no destination. Why is that? Huh. Route select. Insert. That's the secondary plan, it looks like. All right. I really am not sure why it's acting up like that. All right. So let's see if we can... there's no runway there. All right. Let me go back to init. And we're just going to put LEAL. LEAL. Enter. And we're going to put here... LPPT LPPT. Right, enter that and insert that. Let's clear this info. Flight plan. Do we have a destination now? Yes, we do. All right, let me go back to active, and we'll go back to init and the departure. Why is there's no departure now? Oh, come on. All right, you know, guys, I think I've messed this up, and it doesn't look like so. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to load up the aircraft again. And we'll just set it up since we're just in the very beginning of the flight. So let's select Alicante and let's go back to the same position here. All right, I think we just select the same one here. Select and let's say start flight. All right, that's just gonna, I just don't want to, I'm not sure really what happened with the, it looks like it deleted the data and it just doesn't want to fetch it back. So, yeah. All right. So we'll just wait for the aircraft here to load real quick, and then we will begin the prep again. There we go. That didn't take very long, thank God. And we are good now, so let's go ahead and say ready to fly.
This is too small for your aircraft.
Okay. And back in the cockpit, let's start setting things up here. So we'll skip the initial checks as we've done them earlier. We're going to go for external power and then turn on the battery switches. Turn on crew supply, ground control, adheres to nav, and then emergency lights armed. No mobiles, no smoking, seatbelt signs are on, and we'll turn on the fuel pumps. Let's go ahead and perform the fire test, and then we're good here. Okay, perfect. Next, we're going to come here. We're going to make sure that the Navigraph data is selected. So we're going to go to Options, Third Party, and we're going to make sure that Navigraph is selected, which it is. And it doesn't say anything about, yeah, so that's already selected. All right, perfect. Let's go back to the menu, Flight Ops, Import from SimBrief. And now we have the flight information. Next, we're going to go to the load sheet, import from SimBrief, set the zero fuel weight, set the fuel, and now we're good here. Excellent. Now we're going to come here and do the good stuff. All right, so flight plan. Let's go to init, and from init we're going to request the company data, And that hopefully will sort things out for us now with the Navigraph database selected. All right, received the company flight plan, insert, and that should populate everything for us. Perfect. All is set here. Let's go to the departure. We are departing runway 10 through the nope, that's not it. Cato 4 Alpha, no transition, temporary flight plan, insert, and we've got it. We click here for the destination airport. We select the arrival. The arrival is going to be through runway 20, the ILS runway 20, no VIA, and the star is going to be the, let's see here. Let's see if we get it now. Yeah, we do get it now. It's the AMPO 5 Bravo. Let's see here, double check. No, it's still not the same one, so I'm not sure. Maybe I need to update the nav database. I don't know, but it's not showing here. So we'll just go ahead and select this one here. And let's say temporary flight plan and insert. And we're gonna come over here and check our plan. There we go. And let's see what do we get here. So that's the destination. And if we cycle through, all right, so we do have some funny things going on here. Let's make that a little bigger. So I don't think that we can. All right, so let me start from the beginning. Upload. There we go. Okay, so that's our departure. Let's scroll down, and that's the runway right there. So we're gonna come here. So there's some stuff here after the center fix. It looks like there's an opcat that we can delete. So this one here, we will delete that one, and we're gonna remove the disco and insert, and voila. Now we have a nice looking, you know, star coming into Lisbon. All right, perfect. Sorted, and say it's sorted. Say it's sorted. What's the? Dougal can help us with this one. What is the saying in the LNER train? Say it's sorted, something like that, right? Maybe Dougal can help us with that one. I forgot it. Okay. Loopy-lops, yes, they are. Hello, Airbus guy. Welcome aboard. Cubbing Demon, welcome aboard. Looks like my say it sorted. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, it looks like my chat was lagging a bit. All right, so we're done here. Let's go back to init, and this time we're going to go to fuel and load, and we're going to click here, and if you just hit enter, it will populate this for you automatically. And we're going to also hit enter here and enter here for the block fuel. Passenger number is, if we come here, we have 100 passengers. No, we have a total of 238 passengers. So 238 and enter. Okay, and we have all the rest of the information here filled out for us. Excellent. So next we're going to go to return, and we're going to go to takeoff performance. Now for takeoff performance, we are going to come back to the EFB. We're going to say sync FMS, and this will sync everything here. We're going to click here to sync the weather information, flex takeoff, and finally we're going to say compute. And now we have all the data here, and we can send it to the FMS. As you can see now, we have the speeds here, and we click once here to confirm those speeds, 138, 141, and 146. Perfect. All right, so everything here is done. Time for us to turn on the APU master on. Again, that is, I don't think is the correct behavior of the APU. I'm sure that you'll have to wait for the flap to open and then click on start, but that's all right. Okay, let's set the MCP altitude to 40,000 feet, which is our final cruise altitude for this flight today. So 40,000 is now set. And everything else here is checked. All right, let's go to the system. So let's click here, go to surveillance. And from surveillance, we're going to click here on auto. This is still on standby. And now, by the way, if we go to, let me go to flight plan. And we're going to select the flight plan here. And if we go to ARC, I think we still need the alignment to complete, which is going to be in exactly 1 minute. And then I will show you guys the taxi. I think we're already connected to Navigraph. Just in case, let's come over here to... let me go here to the menu. We're going to go to options, third party. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just connect Navigraph charts. So let me do that here real quick. There we go. And approve that from my mobile. And now the Navigraph account is linked. All right. That's why we weren't getting the... now we see the update nav data, which it requires an update. So that's because the aircraft was just updated to its latest version. And that explains, you know, the mess that we've had and the reason why we weren't getting the SID, or beg your pardon, the star, the correct star for the flight, which is all right. We're good here. So the nav, yeah, that's okay. We'll go here. All right, everything is set here. And let's see, on the first officer side, we're going to put this on perf. So we have our takeoff speeds and what have you. And the alignment is now complete. Now, if we go to zoom, it will say app map is loading, and this is what we were not able to see in the last stream. So now we can load the airport, which is pretty cool. I really like this feature. So very nice. And I suppose that you can move this around, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, you can do that. Look, you can do all of this stuff, and this is us right there. So if you release the mouse, it will center it on the aircraft, which is really nice. I really like this feature a lot. So yeah, and you can zoom. Yeah, this is the maximum zoom. So we'll leave it here for now. And we are pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. External power can go off. And now we'll have the APU powering the aircraft. Altimeter is now set, and we are ready for engine start. Okay, good stuff. Here we are, and if we take a look here on the outside, just to plan our pushback, so we can actually push. Where is our runway? Our runway seems to be on the other side. Let's see here. Where's the... Yeah, that's runway 10. And so we're going to push nose to the left. Nose to the left. All right, perfect. So everything's good here. Let's turn on our beacon lights. And we can now start the pushback. We're going to do so through GSX. So let's go to GSX here.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Okay, thank you for letting us know. Prepare for pushback and departure. And we're going to select Ryanair. No, we're going to select something else. All right, there we go. Right, here's the ground crew. Really very nice texturing on this aircraft. So far, I think a lot of the issues that we've encountered...
We are ready for pushback.
Okay. A lot of the issues that we've had during the first stream are resolved. I know for a fact that a lot of the WASM issues have been fixed. Let's go to ground control. We are going to remove the chocks, and we're going to remove the GPU. There we go. GPU is removed.
Departure checks complete. Bypass being incentive.
All right, here we go. So far, so good. Frames are very good, by the way, after Sim Update 1. So I noticed significant performance gains after the update. And I'm using DLAA now. All right, so we're locking the gear in now. Very, very nice looking aircraft, the A350. All right, so we want nose to the left. All right, parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wing.
All right, and we have clearance to start our engines. So engine mode selector to ignition start. And let's begin with engine number 1. Very, very nice sounds. Check out those engine sounds, guys. Very nice indeed. Look at that ground crew. How fast she's almost running. Yes, that is correct, Dougal. Thank you, Dougal, for sharing that with the community. I think that is something that people may miss. So thanks for putting that message in. I think it's very, very important. All right, let's come down here and let's see. We have, I'm going to put the weather system here. Okay.
Please set parking brakes.
All right, parking brake. Why is this? All right, parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
All right, let's go ahead and confirm good engine start so we can get the ground crew to disconnect.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
All right.
You can disconnect.
Perfect. Excellent. So we're going to taxi all the way down on taxiway Bravo 2 and make the left turn to runway 10, our departure runway today.
Unlocking gear.
Why is this showing in I don't think that's correct. All right.
Tow track disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
All right, looks like we have a good start on both engines.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, perfect. All right, we can turn on our taxi lights. Taxi on, and we can turn off the APU bleed. APU master is off, and engine mode selector back to normal. We can also come here to menu, squawk. All right, 2000, and let's see here. VHF. We need this on. Intercom. All right. I almost forgot where the... Ah, I remembered now. Okay, so that's fine. That's above and below. All right. So we're going to come here to systems, or surveillance, if you will. And we're going to select TARA just so that we don't forget it. And let's clear all the messages here. And there we go. Okay, so everything is set here. FMS1. And everything is good here. And let's select flight plan. And we're good to go. Okay, ground spoilers armed. Flaps 1 is set. Auto braked. All right, and we're good to go. Flaps set to takeoff flaps, and let's go ahead and release the parking brake. All right, and config test. Think you need to press and hold. There we go. The flight factor A350 is very outdated. Yes, it is. Would you recommend the flight factor cheap? I'll tell you what, guys. I don't want to say anything now because I haven't flown that aircraft in ages. But what I'll do is I will make a stream in the flight factor A350, and then we can take a look at it, and we can decide whether it's, you know, worth taking a look at or no, or not. So just stay tuned. I will try to schedule the stream in the coming days so you guys can you know, get a feel for the aircraft. We'll take a look at its systems. I will tell you one thing I really like in the flight factor A350, which is the flight model of the aircraft. So I flew it a couple of weeks ago. It was okay. Yeah, we'll take a look. We'll take a look. But yeah, I definitely haven't tried it in a very long time, so it wouldn't be wise for me to just say no, it's not good, or yeah, it's good, go ahead and get it. So we'll figure that out together in an upcoming stream. All right, so we are going to turn on our landing lights, strobe lights to on, takeoff, and there we go. All right, let's go ahead and why did the aircraft stop? All right, there we go. All right, we're cleared for takeoff. Runway 10. Let's start the clock. Right, Manflex 67, SRS and runway.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb. And gears going up. Very nice departure here from Alicante. Right, let's set thrust. There we go. Thrust climb is set. Autopilot 1 engaged. Flaps up. All right, and ground spoilers disarmed. And now we're going to continue our climb to 40,000 feet. We have a restriction at 23, as you can see here. There is something I need to take care of, guys. So I am going to let you enjoy the climb here and just attend for something real quick and get back to you as soon as possible. All right, folks, I am back, and we've probably missed a few things here, such as the Q&H. Let me tell you what, just something actually just made my day. My boss from my previous work just called. He just wanted to check on me, and so very nice of him. So he really made my day. I had to take the call, so it was very, very nice of him, and definitely I feel very motivated right now. All right, Ultra, the clouds can, yeah, they do look really, really good in this version. Okay, so we are above 10,000 feet. Let's kill the lights. Let's leave everything else. Let's kill those lights as well. Everything here is on auto, so we're good there. And we'll put the constraints on. There we can check any constraints along our path. So there we go. Thank you, Rand. Appreciate it, my friend. Gotta go. No worries, Jesse. Take care. Take your time. And enjoy. The clouds are looking good. Yeah, they are. They are looking good in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. There's another thing that I want to show you guys. I hope the external sounds aren't that loud. You see how the textures here are very. They're a lot sharper than what they used to be before the update. So definitely, streaming of data has improved. That's one thing. And the performance is really, really good in this version after some update 1. And obviously, the fixing of all the issues with the aircraft as well. So I think iniBuilds have worked tirelessly to bring the aircraft to a stable state, and you have got to commend them on their work and their commitment again to their add-on, which is, not a cheap add-on to have. So yeah, let's put the weather here as well. I'm not sure if the weather is simulated here, but overall, I think the aircraft has come a long way in terms of the stability, and I hope that they continue improving the aircraft and bringing, more depth to the systems. As well as we progress. By the way, does anyone know how we can turn off the lens flare in 2024? I couldn't figure this out, and it's just one thing I really don't like. Completely unrealistic. So if anyone knows how to turn it off, please let me know. Yeah, they are trying very hard, Dougal. Yeah. Sad that the Ini Discord turned a little salty. Really, I am in their server, but I very seldom go to it. And when I do go there, I just go there for announcements normally, and I leave. I'm a bit worried about Dest EFOB popping on eCam for a second. Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times. Their destination EFFOB. Why is that doing? I have no clue why it's doing that. Very strange. Yeah. 23. Let's come here very quickly to the init page. Yeah, we do have the destination. We have the alternate. Yeah, really I'm not sure why it's showing that. But even the vertical profile here doesn't seem to be looking... It keeps jumping and doing things. And when it jumps is when we see... You see that? How it kind of jumps and comes back, and it's doing some really strange things. So there's definitely something off there. Have you imported the winds? Maybe not. Let's see. Let's go to perf. Let me go to wind. Company request. Let's see if we can get the winds there. Right, insert. Nothing. There's really nothing there. So let me try to go to init. Yeah, there's definitely nothing there. Company wind requests. Let's see if we can get the winds. It looks like insert wind, nothing. Insert history wind, nothing there either. Yeah, there's definitely, yeah, check climb cruise destination winds page. All right, let's do that. Climb, yeah, those we have now. So we do have received, yeah, we do have all the winds there now. But that doesn't seem to have fixed the issue with the vertical profile or the destination EFOB, so still showing some strange things. All right, so it looks like there is a restriction. Let me go back here to the flight plan. All right, so it looks like there is restriction at 23, and then we'll begin the climb again to 26,000 a little bit. All right, let's set this to 40 nautical miles. Actually, 80 is fine. There we go. And we'll continue. Look at those clouds, guys. Wow, just beautiful, huh? Yeah. I mean, things are starting to look really, really good in 2024, including the textures. Something that wasn't really looking all that great. There, I think here you can have a better look here at the textures and how sharp they are. I will show you guys my settings a little bit after we reach cruise altitude. And hopefully it will fix. Yeah, it looks like it's still having issues here. So this is probably a bug that needs fixing. Haven't seen that VSD thing being reported yet. Remove the discontinuity at the end. All right, that's something we can do for sure. So let's go to the destination. And then we're going to go here. So there's this. It shouldn't really. All right, let's remove it. Insert. All right, let's see if that fixes the issue. It looks like that has fixed it. No. Still no. Yeah, still yeah, it's something. It looks like it's something that needs fixing. And I think that's the reason why we're getting this EFB thing here. Something is off. Let's see if we can, if we come down here and remove this manual one here. Remove that. And let's see if that fixes the issue. Right, insert. And this is the final. What is this LPBJ? Huh. Let's delete that one too. Can we? No, it doesn't look like we can delete that one. So we'll just leave it. Yeah, but that hasn't fixed the issue. Yeah, it's probably the alternate. Alright, so we'll just leave this here. Alright, well, folks, it doesn't look like we are gonna... Oof, what happened here? Alright, let's... Alright, so yeah, I don't think that we are able to fix this issue. This is something that probably needs fixing. Yeah. Well, that's alright. Let's see here. We have... That's okay.
Hey,
Andre.
hope you are well.
Well, Andre, thank you very much for your 6 months of membership. I really, really appreciate that. One thing that I've been wanting to do for the members of the channel is to allow you to book a time with me, one-on-one, to answer your questions. My only issue is that I haven't been able to find the proper time to do that. That's something I've always wanted to do for the channel members, is to allow them to have a one-on-one session with me via Discord, and you know, where I can help them with either Explain or Microsoft Flight Sim. Funny seeing you fly to Lisbon. Just came from work over there. Oh, how cool, Andre. One-on-one would be something pretty special. Yes, Dougal. Yeah, I know. And I really want to do that, guys. And I think I am going to do it. I just don't know when. I've even researched a very good platform where, you know, I can open certain slots. So I can say, like, I am available on this day at those specific hours. And it's going to be a short, you know, 15-minute session with each one of you guys who wants to, you know, have a session with me for anything flight sim related. So now you won't have a life. Why is it climbing to flight 40 if up to Caden? The constraint is 23, but I think we've passed the constraint. No, maybe not. Maybe yeah. It's you're absolutely right, because there is a constraint. We've passed it. So we've passed the constraint there. So we need to be. Yeah, it's not very clear to me what this is here, but it doesn't seem to be right. Something is definitely off. Yeah. We're 10,000 feet from our final cruise altitude. Let's take a quick look at the outside. Gorgeous looking clouds there, guys. Wow. How about that for a view? Looks pretty good, huh? Yeah, those clouds are looking really, really good. Maybe broken nav database files. That might be the case. Yeah, it could be, because I haven't updated Navigraph charts. So that might be the issue. Yeah. I had a bunch of issues I thought were off or wrong until speaking with an A350 first officer. He explained many things I thought were bugs. Oh, that's cool. You're very lucky that you have access to you know, to a first officer on the A350. That's pretty good. The Just Flight, by the way, guys, is going to be releasing the Piper Arrow 2 for X-Plane 12. This is again an aircraft that has been fully updated to take advantage of the X-Plane 12 engine, with new PBR materials, a brand new electronic flight bag, and an accurate flight model of the Piper. I've had access to the aircraft a couple of days ago. I was planning on doing the sort of the flight today, but I thought I will defer that to either Saturday or Sunday, depending on my schedule, so that we can give the aircraft a little bit of love. I always like to give general aviation aircraft a detailed look, and since it's going to be the first look at the aircraft, I wanted to do it on the mainstream day, which is Saturday or Sunday now. Again, I do apologize to you guys that I haven't been having a very specific or very steady schedule. So normally the original schedule was Tuesday, Saturday, but I haven't been able to keep up, primarily because of the new job that I have, which is quite demanding, and I work very long hours. So sometimes when I get home, I'm like, I'm just too tired to stream. So one thing I can tell you, the weather here in Lisbon is... Oh, is it? Okay. Real life always comes first, sir. Thank you very much, Dougal. I appreciate that. I wonder if previous owners of the Piper will get a discount on the version 2. I believe yes. I can't remember. Let me check the email from Just Flight here. I'll give you guys the definitive answer here on this one. Let's see. So, all right. So it looks like yes. So we're currently aiming. So the release is going to be Thursday, which is tomorrow, and current X-Plane 11 owners can get 20% off the price. They'll have been emailed with details on how to get their discount already. So if you have the X-Plane 11 version, you should have received an email from Just Flight. If you haven't, please do send them an email. They'll come back to you. The standard prices are £30 or 36 euros or 42 US dollars. So you're going to get 20% off of that if you already have the X-Plane 11 version, which is again something that's very, very good from Just Flight. A nice gesture from them to do this, as this is a completely rebuilt aircraft. I've done a few flights with it now, and let me tell you, I am just really impressed with the flight model, with the fidelity of the aircraft, and of course you guys know Just Flight, they are just top-notch. They're a top-notch company. So and the word is from the guys over at Just Flight that they're bringing their BAE 146 to X-Plane 12 as well, so they are going to be updating that. It's very, very comforting and very pleasing to know that they have not abandoned X-Plane and they are still developing for the platform. All right, so we are at approximately 39,000 feet, almost our cruise altitude, and things are looking pretty cool here. No incidents so far. We can come down here and click on SDS, which is the status, and it shows the status normal. So all the aircraft systems are currently normal. Let's move this on to cruise. We'll leave it there. And about 800 feet for cruise altitude. Okay, perfect. That's you see that engine shake there? That's pretty cool. And those clouds are looking just fantastic. Look at that. All right, so now that we've reached cruise altitude, I do very quickly want to show you guys my settings. Now, I do have a 4090, but let me show you anyway. I know it's probably not very useful for a lot of you, but let me show you that the reason I want to show you this is I moved away now from using TAA. The reason I've done this is that the performance gain that you get with DLAA is far, far better than TAA after Sim Update 1. You will definitely get a lot of FPS if you can use DLAA with NVIDIA DLSS Super Resolution. And you will notice that the ground textures are far sharper with DLAA for some reason. I don't know why, than TAA. The only drawback of having DLAA is that the number flipping, the numbers when you see the altitude tape or the speed tape, that there's that blur that doesn't look very good. Now, in terms of the global rendering quality, I've put everything on max. Everything is on max, except for the cockpit, the glass cockpit refresh rate. Actually, let's turn this to high. And I have turned off the traffic, so I don't like to see the traffic because it's just highly unrealistic. You'll see like an Alaska Airlines at Kuwait International and things like that. So I don't like that. So I've turned this off, and everything else is pretty much maxed out. Now, with that said, by the way, with the cockpit refresh rate thing, you don't really notice any difference in performance or in quality. So here you can see everything is just exactly as previously. Nothing really changes, but I have to say that the sim is starting to look really, really nice. And yeah, with cockpit refresh rate at medium is just fine for class cockpits. It's just really not going to make any difference. So with that said, for some reason I am unable to view the yeah, all right, so now it works. So now we're getting about 94 FPS, 98 FPS in the iniBuilds. That's very, very good. And you can probably get a lot more without compromising much on the visual fidelity. Interestingly enough, if I go to settings and I change this back to for the cockpits, where is it? Here, depth. All right, so if I change this back to medium, we should gain a little bit more FPS with that. So let's just wait here a little bit. Yeah, now we can, you know, we're going to the hundreds. It's just about the same. Yeah, it doesn't really change much in terms of the FPS with that option on or off, and definitely it does not change the visual fidelity. So yeah, so basically, you know, I've been running this sim. I've been running Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 at maximum settings with no problems whatsoever, and that has I've watched a lot of my very good friend Mark, or the Sim Hanger. So he has been given the 5090 to test out, and he's done a brilliant job doing several tests with the 5090. Now, based on the test results that I've seen, I don't think that I will be upgrading to the 5090 anytime soon. The 4090 is just as powerful. The performance gains in Microsoft Flight Sim are marginal. So blur, I have motion blur off. Really don't need it in this sim. What does it do? Do you know, Dougal? I just left it where it is. The good thing about BATC is that it's not just ATC, it also controls the traffic, and you can see it doing proper things even if you line up. You don't see planes taking off from the other runway. Personally, I think 5000 series is a waste of money. Absolutely, Dougal. Absolutely. It's just really, I feel it's a marketing gimmick again from NVIDIA. So I'm not going to make any investment in the 5090, that's for sure. Do you use Orbex or Same Scene 3D City Scenery? For some reason, I get bad starters with City Scenery. But the second I remove it all, starters are gone. I do use Orbex Scenery. I don't use the other one. I haven't had any stutters with Orbex Scenery, but if it's a specific scenery, then it might be that that scenery is not optimized, or maybe it's got a certain issue. So if you are stuttering only with that specific airport, just remove it, yeah. And the real price is a joke. Yes, it is. Motion blur simply makes fast-moving things blurry and not just spare real life. Oh, okay, Dougal. Well, that's something I'll probably turn off as well then. Same note, no improvements other than the GDDR7. Yeah. I'm currently trying Orbex Dubai and any OMDB. Yeah, I believe they've released their version of Dubai International. And London Heathrow seems to have also received a huge improvement for 2024, the new version of London Heathrow by iniBuilds. They create some really good add-ons, by the way, for Flight Sim. I wish that they would just create things for X-Plane as well. I upgraded recently the 4070 because the 5070 is only about 15% faster, but it costs $300 more for no reason at all. So I got the 40 series instead, and the sim runs beautiful. Yes. By the way, on Beyond ATC, they do inject their own traffic, and that feature is now available in Say Intentions as well. So you'll be able to get that. That feature, though, is, I think, highly experimental at this point. But I think, yeah, they do have their own traffic. If you're a partner, if you're a Say Intentions partner, then you'll have access to that, and you'll be able to inject the traffic, and it works beautifully with the overall Say Intentions environment is just brilliant, just very, very, very good. You can get them, although stores themselves have become, yeah, for sure. NVIDIA has always, has always been very successful at marketing their graphics card. And when I purchased the 4090 and I built my new setup, I had in mind that that setup, the one that I have today, is going to be sufficient for all flight sim needs for the next 5 years. The system today is 2 years old, and I think it will give me easily another 3 years ahead. So I don't think that and this was a really, really expensive system, very, very expensive at the time I bought all the parts and built the PC. I've spent a lot of money on this setup. So yeah, I do want to get my money's worth, and I don't think that I will be upgrading or getting a brand new system anytime soon. Right, 40,000. We're looking good. Let's take a quick look here at. It looks like we're still having these issues here with the profile. It could be, by the way, something related to DLAA. I don't know, but yeah, we'll just not worry about it for now. Okay, so I am going to head over to our FMS here. So I'm going to go to Perf. And we're going to go to the approach, and we're going to start entering the information for our approach. So we're going to come over here, and we'll make this a little bit smaller. There we go. And we are going to click here for the weather at Lisbon. You can see that the winds are 150 degrees, 16 knot winds. Oof. Gusting to 27 knots. Check this out. You guys are definitely going to have a lot of fun today, because I know you like to have me stress out over these landings. So there you have it. You have beautiful weather today. Not beautiful in the relative sense, that is. So yeah, 50 at 16 knot. Gee. All right, so 16, and enter that. Outside temperature is currently 16, quite warm, just like the weather in Kuwait this evening. And the QNH is 1003, and we entered that. And let's take a look here. We've got 100, so let's do that. There we go, 100, and enter that, and voila. We're all set here for the arrival. And if we go back to cruise, we can see that the top of descent is in 329 nautical miles. Perfect. We've been flying for about 30 minutes, so about 1 hour remaining for our flight today. And NVIDIA just does very few GPUs right now. Yeah, that's true. SimBit World is in the house, ladies and gents. Welcome aboard, my friend. Long time no see. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How have you been? I was just yesterday. I logged in and I looked at all the changes that you've done. What a brilliant software there. It's the only career add-on that I like today for Flight Sim. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. How are you? I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that Simbit World is doing well. And so, guys, I think you've seen my streams and videos on Simbit World. I normally am not a person that likes career mode or, you know, tycoon type stuff. The only program that I enjoyed using for flight sim was Simbit World, where it's an add-on that it simulates the career of a real-world airline pilot. It's got everything from your type rating to training to applying for an airline, getting paid for your flights. You actually get a salary. If you don't show up for work, you'll get fired. And you build a reputation over time. And then you can apply for, you know, more prestigious airlines. So it really is a very nice add-on utility that simulates a pilot career in style. I really, really like it a lot. It's a very good add-on. I also like Grand Tour. It's great. No subscription, just buy once. Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Dougal, for putting the link there. And guys, if you like that sort of stuff, the career, pilot career, and you know, you'll be surprised that the software actually has a resume for you. Build your resume over time. So yeah, I got fired over time from a lot of different airlines because I'm not very active, if you will. Just again, the lack of time is something that is just killing me. So. Yeah, it's very good. It's an excellent software, really. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you get bored, you know, from flight sim, Simbit World can actually add that extra level of. It can really motivate you to do flights because, you know, it really does simulate the life of an airline pilot in the sim in a very, you know, very accurate way, I should say. So you need to do BTV. What is that? Sorry, I'm not very good with acronyms. So when I first went to the US, the culture of acronyms came about. And everything was abbreviated. So break to vacate. Oh, okay. So everything was abbreviated, and I had real trouble understanding what people were talking about. But obviously, with the with time, you know, I started getting used to it. Right, things are looking good. We are cruising at our cruise altitude of 40,000 feet. And looks like the skies are filled with clouds today. All right, here again you can see, yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So you can see now how the textures are sharper. They look pretty good. There we go. I think you can see it here a little better. Let me take you back to the passenger cabin for those. Again, you can get this aircraft with, you can configure the aircraft to have a passenger cabin or without a passenger cabin. And you can remove those curtains, which is also cool. Again, very nicely modeled passenger cabin here, as you can see. Again, those guys at iniBuilds spared no effort in making this an authentic experience. So yeah, here we go to the chair. There we go. And we're sitting here in business class, I suppose, or is this first class? I don't know. But it definitely looks very, very good. All right, let's go to the back. We'll take a look at the other. Again, you can see the seat assignments as well, which is pretty cool. Here, let's go back. And looks like this is the galley here. Yeah. All right, so that's the kitchen, if you will, where all the meals are prepared. Again, very, very detailed, very nice. And we can go back here. Yeah, this is definitely... This looks like premium economy. Yeah. Very nice seats. Look at this. Reading lamps as well. Very nice. Those pillows look very comfy. And this is obviously cattle class. That's what they call it. So, yeah, that's what my wife tells me when, you know, when I book for them economy class tickets. She says, I don't want to travel cattle class. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice aircraft. Very nice add-on. Obviously, for a lot of real-world pilots, it has come as a disappointment with a lot of things missing in terms of the system simulation. And at least the ones that I have listened to have voiced their dissatisfaction with the price or the value per money that the aircraft offers when it comes to price versus, you know, depth of systems and the fidelity of the simulation. So obviously I'm not a real-world Airbus A350 pilot, so I probably can't comment much on that, but that's what I've been hearing lately. Again, from the modeling perspective, I think it's spot on. I think it looks just fantastic. Obviously, there are still some issues that need fixing, but overall I think it's pretty cool. I think I agree with you there, Dougal. I think, you know, $79 or $75 for this add-on is a lot to pay. They keep building on it, so we hope that it will be, you know, that it will continue the development of the aircraft. But yeah, by the way, let's go to terminal charts real quick, and we're going to select. We'll select Lisbon. And now we can see that we have all the SIDS and stars. So if I go to, let's see, stars, so we get all our stars. And if you click here, then obviously you'll get them. There we go. And you can use it with the mouse. So very, very nice. Again, you need Navigraph charts to have this feature work for you. But I really like what they've done here. The integration with Navigraph is just really, really very well done. Very cool. Yeah, that's our flight there. So IFR day, and I can zoom out. There we go. And obviously it's using Navigraph charts again. So now it's loading. There we go. And you've got the moving map there, so very, very cool. All right, so we are we are actually 177, sorry, now it's changed to 261. It keeps changing. That's probably why we're getting that message. Look, it's showing the top of descent either in 260 or 170. I really am not sure why it's doing that. But if we click here, yeah, I'm not sure why we're getting that. But we know top of descent is somewhere here. So we'll see. That's very strange, isn't it? It should be better for that price and cost 20-30 euros less. That I definitely agree with. Yes. It is overpriced, yes, for sure. I wonder how you're going to descend if it's that broken. Well, we're going to wing it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to wing it. And hopefully things will work to our advantage. I don't know about you, I prefer to descend manually. Set the altitude and the VS. Oh, okay. That is something we can do. Those are Lido charts, not Navigraph. Oh, is it? These are not Navigraph charts, so you don't require the integration? Oh, that's cool. I know you have the terminal charts are definitely Navigraph charts, though. Yeah, this I think, I'm pretty sure that you need Navigraph for those to work. For the charts. I stand corrected if that's not, the case, but that's what I think. Yeah, I know Navigraph uses JPEG charts, so let's take a look here. Lufthansa chart system. Ah, you may be right. Lufthansa systems charts. All right. Okay. No, 2012 comes with Lido charts. I see. Gotcha. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, guys. I stand corrected. Yeah, that's how I do it on VATSIM. Much more predictable. But then you wouldn't be able to control the restrictions, right? So do you do the restrictions manually, guys? Here's a nice wing view. All right, so you do the restrictions manually. Okay. Hey there, Fargo. Welcome aboard, my friend. Does anyone know if the weather radar works on this aircraft? Now, one thing, you'll come here. Now, you can select, by the way, the runway conditions there. So you can actually select the runway conditions from within, from within the little knob here. Well, we don't need it now, but that's something that is simulated on the aircraft. So it's cool to be able to see it. And of course, you've got the little trace. It would have been nicer to have the... There we go. So now you have the little... let me come this way here. All right. So you can actually use... you can't use it. So it's just modeled for fun. Looks like, but it's there. So that's cool. Again, just visual representation. Looks like. Alright, so how do we get rid of it now? Alright, let's see. Maybe here? There we go. Nice little features and some really nice attention to detail across the board. On VATSIM, they give their own restrictions anyway. That's true, yeah. Very nice looking clouds. Right. Right, I'm going to leave you guys for just a short while, probably a minute or two, and I will be right back. In the meantime, please enjoy the view, and I'll be back with you shortly. All right, we are back and ready to complete this flight. Right, still 40,000 feet, 116 nautical miles to top of descent. And if we put this here on 180, that's the top of descent. See, it keeps disappearing. So at any rate, we'll do the top of descent exactly after Apollo, and we'll check what is our platform altitude there at 4,000 feet. Lisbon. So hopefully we'll, the aircraft will do what it's supposed to do. We can switch this to airport. There we go. You can see the airports now. Does this aircraft have the... Yeah, it does. It does have the ditching. Just like that. Very similar to the A320. This is, again, the Airbus philosophy. Is that they've created their aircrafts, the cockpit. They are extremely similar, and the reason being is to shorten the amount of time required to train pilots to transition from one type to the other. So an A320 pilot would not really require that much training to transition onto the A350. The A380 is a different beast altogether, but to transition to the A350, they go through a very minimal training, and they can get the type rating for the A350. Very, very similar aircraft in a lot of ways. The only difference, well, there are a lot of difference visually. I mean, things are laid out in a different way. It looks more next gen, but overall, the Airbus philosophy is perpetuated in the A350 and the A380. So if you've flown the A320, if you're proficient in flying the A320, you will find a lot of the systems, you'll be very familiar with a lot of the systems. It gets, the MCDU is a little bit different, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but you know, once you get used to it, it becomes just really easy. I haven't really had any issues with starting the aircraft, at least in the most basic manner, and that's because of my previous experience with the Flight Factor A350. And I find things to be extremely similar, although a lot more things are simulated on this aircraft. And by the way, the A350 by Flight Factor has a lot of the systems simulated as well. It's a shame that that aircraft was, you know, pretty much abandoned. And what Flight Factor has done is that they brought compatibility to the different X-Plane versions. So from X-Plane 10, they just made very few changes to make it compatible with X-Plane 11. And then when X-Plane 12 came, you know, they made, again, few changes just to make sure that the aircraft works in X-Plane 12. But nothing was done in terms of the systems or improving the aircraft visually. I know, if you guys know, one of the very famous livery makers or painters, Emma. Emma is a great person, and she's one of the great assets in our community. She's a gem of a person. She normally creates very nice liveries, and she actually helped with the textures of the Flight Factor A350. So the most recent version, I think, of the aircraft looks a lot better than the previous versions, and I believe it was done by Emma. So I don't know if she's still working, Dougal, but I know for a fact that she's the one behind the new textures of the A350 by Flight Factor. So whenever that was done, I know that she had her own scenery. I think she was collaborating, or they were a group that had a scenery company, and then they stopped just for the lack of interest, I suppose. But she's a great asset to this community. Yeah, I wish her well. When TOD is unclear, suggest starting down from at least 10 to 15 nautical miles early. All right. A350 and A330 have same type rating, I believe, too. Oh, gotcha. A330 driver has said it several times. I see. Hey, Q1 now. Oh, I recently got an AMD RTX 60 XT. Do you think that's good enough to use the A350? James, I wish I could help you, but I really can't because I don't have the RX 660. But maybe someone in chat has it and is able to help. I unfortunately cannot. Hey Q8, currently in the X-Craft E190 from LPM into L. Oh, how cool is that? Picture person. Welcome, my friend. Alright, what we'll do, we can see the top of descent mark there. And we have to set to... Alright, so we are at 161 nautical miles. Or 75. We are at 75 nautical miles now. So when this reads 60, all right, so when this turns down to 60, about in 14 nautical, so we'll begin the, no, sorry, when we have 15 left, yeah. So at 15 nautical miles, we'll just begin. Now it's saying 72, and I believe that's, see, now it's saying 157, and then it's saying 62, or 72. So I think that's definitely not accurate. The 72 is probably the correct one, according to our flight plan. So that's where we're going to begin the descent towards Lisbon. Right. All is good here, so we should begin the descent shortly. We have all the arrival information already entered into the McDo, and we are ready to descend. It's jumping now. Question is why it's jumping. I have no clue. It might be a bug. You can also see the profile here. The vertical profile is also showing a lot of strange things as well. But I'm pretty sure that the first number we're getting, not the 151, but the 65 is the correct distance until top of descent. And that can also be verified here. Let me click here. So if we look at Navigraph charts and we go to the information, you can see here the descent 2,200. We are 122 nautical miles from top of descent. So it makes sense to begin the descent in actually less maybe. So we are 40. We want to go to 40. We are at 40,000. We go. So that's 36 times 3. Yeah, we might actually begin the descent a little bit earlier than that. So 36, let's see, so minus the 12. So actually we should begin the descent now, guys. Yeah, let me go ahead and initiate the descent. I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to 4,000 feet. And we'll do a nav descent. That will respect any restrictions along the way. And let's go to nav descent right there. And that should help get us right. Let me turn on the landing system. And vertical velocity. Now, this one, if you notice here, let me just show, I know we can't pop this out. Maybe we can. Hang on a second. Let's see here if we can. All right, so we can pop this out. All right, so if I come here and click on VV, vertical velocity, just notice here, you will get the little dot here. See that? So that is actually what this thing does. So that we can remove now. And we have begun the descent now towards Lisbon, ladies and gents, and we should be arriving shortly into our destination. Yeah, it's probably if we feel that, you know, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, then we'll just change it to vertical speed, and we'll change this to respect any restrictions along the way. We do have a restriction at 37,000 here, and the restriction on speed 250 knots, and then we have a restriction at 4,000. Sorry, we have a restriction at 7,000, and finally at 4,000, and that's at the center fix for runway 20 at Lisbon. So we should be fine. Is this the weather? Is it showing the weather radar here, or... Let me see here. What is this here? This looks like the weather, guys, doesn't it? So it looks like the weather is simulated. Yeah, it does look like the weather. See here, this is, yeah, we have the terrain here. Alright. If you go to plan mode, zoom all the way down and select the exit and arm the auto brake, the aircraft will brake automatically to reach that exit. If you go to plan mode, zoom all the way down. Plan mode, so that is plan mode. Oof. That looks pretty crazy, doesn't it? Alright, so you're saying go to plan mode, zoom all the way down. We don't have the map yet. Oh, we do. Okay. So... and select exit and arm auto brake. So how do you select the exit? I need to figure out what you just said. It sounds like something nice. Live stream is not the place to test BTV for the first time. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. All right. Well, something new to learn, and I will look into it. Right. Now, as we begin the descent, you will notice again how the textures are quite sharp and nice, and the sim is really starting to look very, very nice. Yeah, out of 40, 36,000, we're looking good. We can see ILS 20 there, landing 20, dry conditions. Let's take a quick look at our weather, guys, at our destination. So let's see if the things have changed. The weather has changed a little bit. So we have 150, 17 knot. Oof. There's actually slight rain as well. So looking, yeah, light rain. You see minus RA means light rain. A few clouds at 3,000. We have broken clouds at 3,600. And the temperature is 16, dew point 11. QNH is 1003. What would be the transition altitude in Lisbon? Do you guys know? Let's check. We can see this in our chart. Sometimes, and sometimes says it's as directed by ATC. So unfortunately, yeah, it does say transition level by ATC. So does anyone know what's the transition altitude for Lisbon? Get ready for bad weather. Yes, 4,000 feet. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. There, Mr. Santos. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, so get ready for bad weather. All right. Well, obviously, yeah, the weather conditions are pretty bad, but you guys love it when the weather is bad because it really stresses me out. So, yeah, so that's something you guys really dig, and maybe we'll also activate the FCR, Flight Control Replay, and record our arrival into Lisbon so we can take a look at the replay. Does it not give you that in the FMC once the star is entered? Works perfectly, but if you not use it before, then a live stream, not the, yeah. I agree there, Dougal. Maybe, Dougal, you can teach me how to do that one day. Alright. This is what I love about this community. I learn from you guys just as much as I give, and that's just beautiful. Right, so we go through the clouds here. Very, very nicely shaped wings on the A350. Now, one thing that I've noticed has slightly improved after Sim Update 1 is the flight model, but on the approach it's still extremely touchy. And I've noticed that it's not just the iniBuilds A350. Almost all the aircraft, all the big aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 fly exactly the same, with the exception of the Phoenix A320, which has I think a very accurate flight model. But all the rest fly pretty much the same, which is, you know, a little bit annoying. Let's see here. What is this? Engine NTIs, you are absolutely right there. Let's do that. We're gonna come here and we're gonna turn on the engine NTIs. Actually, let's do wing NTIs as well, just to make sure. As we go through these really thick clouds, the last thing you want is ice forming on your wings. We have been now flying for 1 hour and 66 minutes, and just a few more minutes before arrival into our destination. We are at 31,000. Now, if we look here, we are definitely too high, so I am going to change this here to 2,800 feet per minute. Still not doing anything. Why is that? Alright, let's see. It looks like it's doing it now. Alright, yeah. Looks like it is now descending. So we are definitely way too high. So we want to make sure that we see 80 nautical miles. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we clear that. So 2,700 feet. And then we can switch back to the managed mode once we are closer to our desired altitude. The weather seems to be dreadful. Notice that the MD-82 was on sale. Will be expensive for me buying that and the A350 at the same time. You are too low already. Am I? We are too low. You are right. Alright, so here, we'll just do that. I just saw the dot right there. Yeah, we can definitely, if we get to, we get to a decent, looks like this is the weather radar, guys. So yeah, some really terrible weather as we arrive. So we can actually cut through if we are at a suitable altitude to intercept. We can just go direct to Ekmar. We'll see in a second here how we're doing in terms of the altitude. But looking here, it doesn't look that bad. But the winds might be just too strong. Mr. Stefanos, welcome aboard. Yeah, you are right. It's not showing the right information. You're absolutely right. Well, if you look here at the map, we are at 26,000 feet. This is actually the airport. So, if I look here, we want to be at 6,000. There. No, that's the restriction. Okay, let me go back up. All right. So 27. Here, this is 37. Yeah, I think we're fine still, but again, I don't think I can trust these altitudes there. Oh, look, we have some reds there. So that is something we want to try to avoid as much as possible. So perhaps we can maybe avoid that by flying direct to Ekmar. I do want to try to avoid that red. Or are we flying around it? I'm not sure. Well, as we get closer, I think we'll be able to see, we'll reduce the range, and we'll be able to see whether we are actually going to fly into the red. That's something we want to avoid today. But those clouds are looking very, very nice indeed. Yeah, the weather is very, very bad. I'll tell you what, we'll fly direct just before we reach that red, and we'll fly to Ekmar, and that should help us. Why is it gone back? Ah, it's back to 1,000. Okay. So 24, where are we now? We are 27, okay, 37, we are 73 nautical miles. All right. I am tempted to do a vertical speed descent a little bit faster so that we can fly direct to Ekmar if need be, to avoid this part here, which looks very, very dangerous. So I'm going to go to vertical speed, and we are going to descend at 2,500 feet per minute. Or there we go, 2,500. Right, and we'll try to avoid going through this red part here. Use vertical speed and don't use managed mode because it's not working properly. That's what it looks like, yeah. I told you about the weather. Yes, you did. The weather looks dreadful. Yes, it does. Yeah, look at that, guys. Wow. It's going to be some approach into Lisbon. And we're expecting some light rain as well along the way. Let's switch to 40 nautical miles here. And that shows us, yeah, I think we can definitely avoid some of this really bad weather. I am tempted to increase our rate of descent to 3,000 feet per minute. And yeah, it's some nice weather, sure. For you guys, I'm sure that you just really enjoy, you know, those landings in really bad weather. So, well, we've got everything set up for the approach, and we are looking good. So, we can, I think, fly direct there once we are at a safe altitude and avoid this part of the storm here. Wow, look at those clouds. Very nice indeed. No turbulence though, at least we haven't felt any. Well, the wind is, let's see here. So the winds are 150 at 17 knots. Oof. Wow. Yeah, the cloud smoothing doesn't look very good with DLAA, so it's much better with TAA, but it's not bad. Alright, I think I'm going to extend the speed brakes here, slow the aircraft down a little bit, as we are descending at a very... Alright, so 15,000. Yeah, maybe we can go to Ekmar, guys. Fly direct there. It's just, it's looking very, very gloomy over at this part. And so we want to try to avoid it as much as possible. The 777 flight factor is much deeper in simulation, yes. All right. Really dreadful weather. Too bad that we can't see the nice scenery, though. Yeah, I am really tempted to fly direct now to Ekmar and turn that way. We'll deal with the altitude and the rate of descent. So let me go and do that. So if we come here, and I believe you can fly. What is it saying here? Master caution. Speed rates still extended. Yes, they are. All right. So we want to come here. Where is or that's Ekmar. So want to say from current position direct to Ekmar, fly direct, insert, and now we are going to make the turn. Right, 10,000 feet. Let's turn on the landing lights and the nose light to take off. Everything here is set. All right, master caution. That's because we have the speed brakes extended. We'll leave those for now as we make the turn. And maybe we can decrease the rate of descent. We are very fast for the current. So let me reduce that a bit, 2,400. There we go. Very, very bad weather. Jeez. Yeah, we want to slow the aircraft down to 250 knots. That's the maximum allowed speed below 10,000 feet. So runway 20 is in use. I thought Dilix radar does not work well in MSFS. Well, it looks like it's working today. How did you get the weather radar to work? Didn't think it worked. Well, I just put it on the first officer side. So you click here on the system for the WXR, and so just click here. It will show you the weather on the captain side. All right, we are looking good now, and hopefully we'll land without incident. I still don't see any turbulence, at least none visualized yet. Right, I think we can go to, since it's 4,000, so I'll go to managed mode. All right. And we should be making it shortly into our destination. Here's the turn. And I think we can retract the speed brakes. Yeah, there's nothing that we can really see. Yeah, I think we've descended a little bit too fast, but that's all right. We can always skip. We don't have to go all the way there. So as soon as we are at 4,000, we can just simply turn maybe over here. When the approach speed is activated, we can make the turn towards Lisbon and land the aircraft. We don't have to go to the entire route there. So I suppose that the runway isn't dry, so we're going to come over here, and let's see here. We have a wet runway. Braking action good. Okay. All right. Right, so we've set the runway to a wet runway. The braking condition is good for our arrival into Lisbon. And everything else is set. We can come here now and arm the speed brakes. And that's Lisbon right there. So we're going to pass by the airport. Maybe we'll just fly direct there and just make the final to the center fix. So PT, what is it here? Let's take a quick look. So we want PT 411. No, we'll take PT 410. So as soon as we are at PT 407, we'll fly to PT 410. We still can't see anything, by the way, so visibility is very, very bad. I think it only shows cloud rather than precipitation. Probably. Hey, Renan de Oliveira, welcome aboard, my friend. I think you didn't arm auto brake cause there is no blue auto brake on the FMA. Auto brake is... There we go. Thank you very much. Alright, at least we'll be able to see the ground. So that's good. And yeah, it's starting to look really nice here. Wow, look at that, guys. I'd have to tell you, this is very, very immersive. I love what I'm seeing. Looks really good. Really, really good. All right. So we're almost there. The airport is actually right to our right now. So it's right over there, and we are just going to fly a little further down, and we're going to set the barrow. There we go. And what is the current? Okay, 1003. We should have done that sometime back. That's all right. 1003 is set. Okay. The scenery looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? Now that looks really good. Look at those clouds, guys. Okay, so do you guys want a recording of the landing so that we can do a replay, or can we skip this? Is flight model in MSH better than 2020? I don't think so. Why is there 52 knot of wind at 4,000? All right. So, would you guys like a replay of our approach and landing, or should we skip it today? That looks really good, I have to say. Very, very nice indeed. Skip recording. All right, thanks, friend. All right, so we do have the glide slope and the localizer needles there, so we'll just wait a little while until I can confirm that we are at a safe distance from the airport to make our final turn, and then we'll do it. All right, all's looking good. There we go. We can see the glide slope diamond there moving up. And the scenery is just outstanding. Look at that. Wow. Looks really, really nice. Right, 20 nautical miles. And we can see that this is the center fix. We want to give some ourselves, some time to configure the aircraft. But after we pass the center fix, I think we should be fine. And we should be able to begin the flying direct to PT-411 and then configure the aircraft for the approach. That is some fantastic view there as we approach Lisbon. I don't feel any turbulence. So, right, speed is going down now. And what we'll do, folks, at this point is we are going to go ahead and fly direct to PT-411. All right, so that's PT-411. We're going to click that and say from the current position direct to insert. And now here is the turn. And now we're heading to the center fix. And we're going to come here and say activate approach, confirm. There we go. That should resolve the problem we're having here with the speed. This looks gorgeous. Perfect. And let's see here. Yes, they are very well done. I second that by Dougal. And the US is, by the way, done also very well, Dougal. It's very, very well done. They need to fix the cockpit lighting when looking down in MSFS. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't noticed anything wrong there. But, yeah. Alright. Approach speed. Alright, we are at the green dot. Flaps 1. Lovely sounds there. And approach. Right, land 3. I think the visibility is okay, so I don't think that we need to do an auto land. We can turn off the engine anti-ice. All right. Right, the runway is ahead now. We still don't have a visual, but we should be able to see it. There's some fog there ahead. Right, we're looking good here. And almost there. Hello there, Benny Simmer. Welcome. I just had a nice flight in X-Plane. I loved it. I'm glad you did. Wow. 10 knot headwind, 14 crosswind in Lisbon. Did that update? Let's see if things have updated here. So I'm still showing 17 knot crosswind. Sorry. That's not the crosswind. That's where we got it. All right, so 7 and 11. We have 11 knot headwind, 7 knots crosswind. No, beg your pardon. What am I looking here? So we've got 14 crosswind, 10 knots headwind right now. All right, speed check, flaps 2. And landing gear is coming down. Wide slope active. Grand spoilers armed. Seat belts, non-smoking, no mobile are all on. And the cabin is ready. We are clear to land. Runway 20. Right, speed check. Flaps 3. Looks like, guys, that this is the airport. But why am I seeing the airport ahead? Or is this a different airport? That is a different airport. Looks like La Par. Okay, so that's a different airport. Okay.
2,500.
Yeah, kind of got worried there a little bit. But it looks like, yeah, there is an airport there to our left, which is what we're seeing here, which is it has a single runway. Yeah. Right, and let's see here.
$2,500.
I don't think we need the so the second autopilot. If you want to do an auto land, you need the second autopilot. But I don't think that we are going to need it. I think we'll establish a visual reference with the runway shortly. So we'll disconnect the autopilot and land it ourselves. Unless we can't see the runway, but I think we should be able to see it momentarily here as we land. It looks like there is some crosswind there, without a doubt. So although I'm not seeing any turbulence, we're not feeling any turbulence for sure. So yeah, let's see. I think we have the runway in sight now, and there's definitely, you can see the crosswind there. So yeah, we definitely have a visual reference now. We can see the runway. Beautiful scenery here to our left. Very, very nice indeed. Those who live in Lisbon can probably confirm how accurate the scenery is and what we're seeing as we approach the runway. Speed check and flaps full. Definitely some crosswind there, and you can see it here as well on the display, how we're flying towards the runway, indicating very strong crosswind. Look at that, guys. Look at that crosswind. Wow. You sure you don't want me to record this, guys? All right. Well, that's fine. Thank you very much there, Kimmy. Appreciate it, my friend. The Flying Scotsman, thank you very much. Right, we're coming up to 1,000 feet.
1,000.
Right, 1000, autopilot off, and my aircraft. Again, very touchy on the controls. The slightest move and the aircraft is just completely out of control. I'm going to try to use a little bit of rudder just so that I don't make too much corrections on the stick.
Five hundred. 400. 300.
Very lousy flight model.
Hundred above.
Sync rate. Flight slow.
Minimum. 50. 40. 30.
Retard.
20. 10. 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lisbon, Portugal. Reversers are out. 80 knots. And
Auto brake off.
manual braking. And we've made it. Yeah. We didn't really have to do a go-around there. I think it was fine. The runways are quite long runways, and was fine. A lot of what you've seen, by the way, it has to do with the instability of the aircraft. Is just so touchy, and I just don't think that is correct. The flight model of this aircraft is definitely not correct. Definitely not correct. So, we're all good here. And definitely the iniBuilds A350 has received several updates, and it is far more stable now. The flight model, in my opinion, is still lacking. But, yeah, nice scenery there by MK Studios. There we go. And parking brake set. Okay, and let's kill the engine number 2, engine number 1. And we can connect the ground power once we have the APU. There, we didn't really wait for the APU to start, so that's fine. Well, there you have it, folks. The iniBuilds.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Request deboarding. Portway. There we go. All right. Not sure why the aircraft's still in reverse. Why is it still in reverse? Oh well. Maybe that'll fix it. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, overall, I think the iniBuilds A350 has improved quite a bit from the last version that we've tried out upon release. Some glitches there still, definitely, that we've seen in the vertical profile and some of the messages that we're getting really no explanation for. The top of descent calculation was definitely off, so we had to manually descend based on our manual calculation. Overall, an enjoyable aircraft. I'm really starting to like Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It's definitely getting there. It needs a little bit of refinement still, so it's far from perfect, but definitely a lot of the steps are in the right direction. I thoroughly enjoyed this flight, and I definitely enjoyed the interaction with all of you guys. It's been a lot of fun having you here on stream, and I will see you guys on Saturday, possibly, or Sunday, where we're going to be taking a look at the Just Flight Piper Arrow 2 for X-Plane 12. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and good evening.